Hey guys, Miss Savela here. Hopefully this is the last virtual lesson we have to do. It's the last video that I'm going to make. Hopefully. This one is all about editing and revising. So remember, there are two differences between editing and revising. The major difference is that when you're editing, what you're doing is you're going through and fixing all the grammatical errors, the punctuation, MLA, all of that stuff. But the second part is revising, which is much, much more important. Well, equally as important, but harder to do. So when your teachers tell you that you have to peer edit or revise, it's hard if you don't know what to look for. And sometimes people will say, they told me to change this and that, and they totally screwed up my paper. And that makes it hard. So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to teach you guys how to revise and edit with specific rules and such, okay? So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you the paper, okay? So this is actually a student's paper from our school, and she did graduate valedictorian, so it's very exciting. You can see here, I'm going to scroll in a little bit, not scroll in, but you know what I mean. I'm going to show you guys how to edit it. So what you're going to need is you guys are going to need a regular pen, and then 3 colors of highlighters. Now, I like to grade in pink because it's less harsh than red. I think red is like, you know, like, oh my God, I failed. You know, and they'll say like, oh man, that teacher that bled all over my page, you know, and stuff like that. And I don't want to do that to any of you. So what I have here is my 3 highlighters and my pen. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the steps. So step 1, what you want to do is you want to check Mla headings. You want to make sure that Mla heading is correct. So remember, what you need to do is you need to make sure it is never teach corn dogs. So never teach corn dogs. You know why? Because corn dogs can't learn. So this should be a name, and we have name, Ivana A in a class, Miss Savela, but this isn't right. So these both need to be inverted, okay? And then we have to make sure that the date is correct. The date should be the number first, then should be the month written out, and then should be the year written out. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to check that really quick. And also, each time they have an error, put an X or a check mark next to it. Okay? So they reversed these two, so I put a check mark next to it. The date is wrong. I put a check mark next to it. Okay, and that's so that the writer can just go back and look for the check marks, find them, and know that that's what they need to do. Okay, so next is we're supposed to have their last name with a page number, and consequently it should have all the page numbers in order. Okay, if those are okay, you're all right to move on. The next thing you need is you need a title, and the title should be centered. And it should be interesting. It shouldn't just be research paper. Okay, so there's that. And then don't forget our heading, which is our name, last name, and page number. In order to do that, you're going to have to go to Insert, and don't put footer, put page number. Okay, so that's in a Google Doc. That's what you'll do. Okay, the other thing is we want to make sure that it is double spaced. So this is double spaced, so you want to make sure that it's double spaced all the way throughout. Okay, for each one of these, remember you're putting a check mark to show that they have an error. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to make sure that we get all of that stuff done correctly. Okay, so that's the first part. That's Mla Format. Okay, so that's what you want to do first. Never teach corn dogs. Okay, and then all of the other Mla stuff. Okay, the next part is part 2, and that's coming up in a minute.